Imagine waking up and seeing your dead grandfather across the room. For millions of people in ancient Egypt, that was normal. Death was not a place. It was a relationship. Archaeologists discovered something strange inside ancient Egyptian settlements. The living and the dead were often separated by only a few steps. Some burials existed beneath homes. Others were built directly beside villages. To modern eyes, this feels disturbing. To Egyptians, it felt comforting. Why would an entire civilization choose to live so close to death? The answer begins with a radically different view of existence. Ancient Egyptians did not believe a person simply disappeared. They believed every human contained multiple spiritual parts. Two of the most important were called the Ka and the Ba. The Ka was a person's life force. The Ba was something closer to personality and identity. Death did not destroy these parts. It merely changed their condition. The dead still needed food. The dead still needed shelter. The dead still needed connection. That is why families brought offerings to tombs: bread, beer, meat, fruit. These gifts were not symbolic. Many Egyptians believed the spirits genuinely received them. Imagine caring for a family member after death exactly as before. Would you want them far away or close enough to visit every day? This idea shaped entire cities. One of the most famous examples appears near the ancient city of Thebes. Huge communities lived in the shadow of vast cemeteries. The dead were woven into everyday life. Children grew up seeing tombs. Workers passed tombs each morning. Families gathered near tombs during festivals. Death was visible, not hidden. But there was an even deeper reason. Egyptians feared a second death. The first death was physical. The second was spiritual. If a person was forgotten, their existence could fade forever. Names mattered, memories mattered, rituals mattered. Keeping the dead nearby helped protect them from oblivion. The tomb was not simply a grave. It was a machine for remembrance. Its walls carried stories. Its paintings preserved identities. Its inscriptions repeated names. Every detail fought against being erased. Thousands of years later, many still work. We know names of Egyptians who died over 3,000 years ago. Their strategy succeeded. But mummification reveals something even stranger. Most people assume mummies were created for the dead. That is only part of the story. Mummies were also created for the living. The preserved body acted as an anchor, a recognizable form, a stable home for spiritual forces. The better a body survived, the easier it remained connected to the world. This belief transformed preservation into a sacred science. Embalmers became experts. Organs were removed. Bodies were dried. Linens were wrapped with astonishing precision. Everything served a single purpose: prevent disappearance. What would you do if memory itself determined survival? Ancient Egyptians had an answer. Remember constantly, across generations, across centuries, across millennia. Modern societies often hide death behind hospital walls and cemetery gates. Ancient Egypt did the opposite. Death remained part of daily life, part of family life, part of community life, part of identity itself. This closeness created a unique relationship with mortality. The dead were not gone. They were neighbors. They were relatives. They were participants in an ongoing story. Archaeological evidence repeatedly supports this picture. Excavations have uncovered homes connected to burial areas. Offerings appear long after deaths occurred. Letters were even written to deceased relatives. Some Egyptians asked the dead for advice. Others asked for protection. The boundary between life and death was surprisingly thin. And perhaps that is why Egyptian civilization became obsessed with remembrance. They understood something many people still fear. The real terror was not dying. The real terror was being forgotten. Thousands of years have passed since the pyramids were built. Yet we still speak the names of Egyptian kings. We still study Egyptian tombs. We still stare at Egyptian faces preserved in museums. In a strange way, their plan worked. The people they feared losing have survived in human memory, and that changes the story completely. Ancient Egyptians did not sleep beside the dead because they worshipped death. They slept beside the dead because they were trying to defeat it.